Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my friends on the Earthship. Welcome to my little portal of time that I've created for us to engage our inner alchemist, our inner power. I'm Cindy Carter. I'm an intuitive, an artist, an energy healer, and a spirit consultant. This series of Alchemy podcasts each Sunday is a progressive building of information that allows you to see your role as a Master Alchemist, as the director of the life that you witness of yourself, that you are in control as a sovereign being on the earth. And this is kind of like your weekly reminder of that. Last podcast, we talked about the temple of sovereignty, where you can envision your body and your structure as a temple to house the wisdom of you, that you could believe and feel and intuit that you are worthy of such a temple, and that allowing this thought and this idea can bring you to a more compassionate view of your surroundings and your wisdom and how to access it. And I know that right now our surroundings are really on edge, really edgy, on the fringe, like anything goes. And it's going and going and going. Where you are, find yourself in this edgy time. I think the best thing for us all to do right now is to spotlight inward. I hope that many of us will be spotlighting inward while all this crazy is going on. Where we focus on ourselves. Focus on you. I hope we're doing that, focusing on the divinity within you, I hope. Spotlight, focus, awareness, attention. This is consciously done and consciously chosen to do, to ride out these edgy times with a spotlight that comes inward. There's a whole lot here on this squishy multi-dimensions that seem to be merging and pulsing and activating all kinds of deep energies, deep, ugly energies. There's a lot that we could focus on. Strife of all kinds, suffering of all kinds. But when we send our focus, the sending of our energy fields outside of our aura, we better be balanced. When we send it outside of our aura, inside, this multidimensional time space, and we send it to another time space where other people are suffering, somebody is going to spotlight this. Someone in the immediate future, and if someone else needs to see it, they will. And if they are in a position to assist, they will. But if you are not in a position to assist, what are you doing with your spotlight? Ask yourself. When you spotlight on another, anything other than your own, the focus on that stuff that's not happening within your own daily existence is what keeps you distracted and unaware of your own truth. You can witness it and understand it. But when you are flowing your information there and flowing your focus and awareness right there instead of at you, looking at the atrocities, looking at the attacks instead of yourself, and how you deal with the attack or the misalignment, this is what I'm getting at. We're all overwhelmed with the traumas of others. So we are right now to become aware of our truth and our alignment with our source. This is what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. We did come into an earth to make a decision to kind of witness ourselves. I think we're here to kind of witness our divinity. Feels better. It feels more beautiful. Well, that doesn't mean that the existing reality around you won't become beautiful if you focus on beauty. You don't know how things are going to play out in the future. And when your mind is accessing someone else's trauma, you may focus only on that, and the trauma thinks It's now the future. Sorry, you're looking through traumatic eyes at a possible future that you could create. But if you start focusing on your own awareness, on your own alignment with truth, and it can be difficult to be the master alchemist, if we end up with spotlight outward the majority of the time, which many people do. And it's basically from fear. And we access fear from all kinds of places, ancestral, intergenerational, through other people's thoughts, ideas of us, the belief systems we're taught. All this becomes our interest. The fear becomes our interest through energy exchanges or through agreements that we might know or unknow. So many of these ancestral influences that we get to spotlight now. Spotlight your ancestry because now you're showing your ancestral anger or your ancestral depression. Oh my God, we could drag up all kinds of past life memories of your decadence, or your abuse, or of your addictions, or of your, power complex with yourself, the majesty of your own being kind of taking over your sensibilities. I mean, we don't even have to be doing this consciously. It's happening anyway. The Earth is moving. The Earthship is moving into another galaxy. We feel the pummeling of the cosmic waves. We are going through a time channel. We're in a time of purging. I've talked about it before. It was called the Grand Purge. That was one of my podcasts. Well, here we are, where we're kind of living out a lot of people's purging. And we're kind of spotlighting. Where are you spotlighting? It's really in an elevated state, this grand purging. It's like a whiteout. It's a blizzard of heat. It's a pummeling of rays. It's galactic centers aligning. It's true norths realigning. We're all feeling it, whether we realize it or not. Your energies within your body, the past life stories, the hurts, the traumas that we never dealt with, they'll come out. They'll come to the surface if you're not living the truth of your being honest with yourself in some kind of way. So my wish for you all is to have grace and ease in this purging process, in your transitional states of learning the deeper truth of yourself, of the multidimensional self. Because it's not you, Ralph. It's all the versions of the stories of the quantum entanglement of the intergenerational trauma and consciousness that was given or gifted or cursed, as some people feel. But Ralph is a constant energy. Beyond the traumas, beyond the life repeats, beyond the mind swiping, Ralph is also the divine being, the God particle, the perfect elixir of life itself. This is a science. It's an immortal science of activity that lives within each cell of your being. Ralph has the ingredients right now, even if he's pissed off and spotlighting everything else around him as the big victim of life. He has the ingredients that are needed to alter his being to one of harmony and peace and joyful expression right here, if he chooses it. And we're not here to choose, when someone should agree with harmony or agree with peace. Just because we believe peace and harmony is a better way to live doesn't mean that Ralph chooses that right now. I mean, anyone can be fully in their choice to not accept peace or love or harmony. And some would say that's wrong or it's not right. But actually, I see it as perfect. To perfectly stand in the choices of an entire being. Even your ugly self, the many multifaceted versions of yourself that have come to this decision that you don't want peace right now. Sometimes you're in opposition to peace. It's sometimes also a higher self-driven activity to bring you to an awakening or an awareness a little quicker. I think it's often called the 2x4 method, with a big piece of wood whacking you into action I know I attended that school for quite a long time. I got the scars to prove it. The universe tried to get my attention by gifting me opportunities to witness myself and my many ugly facets of alignment or misalignment. They were ugly and beautiful. Big spotlight here. You could imagine a coliseum with laser lights, big spotlight on yourself. It's like the universe wants you to see you. The spotlight is inward to all of the ingredients that make you. Whoa. Again, the screeching brakes sound would be really awesome right here, and I need to find that clip and figure out how to put it in here. But really, to witness all of yourself, even in its awkward, angry, mean, psychotic, delusional state with the spotlight shining right on it, all the ugliness of yourself, you see it? Please see yourself in a place of innocent beauty, that you are also a product of the environment. Until you find out that you can be sovereign, give yourself a break. You can make wise, solid, expansive decisions for your being that allows you to live your truth beyond any construct or idea. But if it's not in your awareness, how are you going to slight yourself for it? This is compassion. And I'm not talking about this rebellion energy that's going on right now. You can't just walk out the door and you leave your life. It doesn't work like that. You have to be compassionate with the actions that happen around you. You might be having a really difficult time right now because of the intense alignment with the truth of your being or the truth of the earth in this galaxy. It's like the true north of yourself has changed. You need to spotlight inward. You could possibly be displaying a purged up version of yourself, like it could be full of self-pity or self-hate or self-loathing or too much empathy for others where you're now depleting your own energy field. You might be playing a martyr or a warrior or a dragon warrior or even a red dragon warrior. Well, any dragon living within you better be benevolent. This dragon version of you and its fullness of self-hate, bright red fire element of the earth, burning bright enough inside your medicine wheel to burn out the whole wheel. It could almost burn out the lights of the innocence of you, of the angelic that lives within you and within your heart space. The kindness that lives in your body is about to get burnt up. If you allow this fire element, if you allow this hatred, this warrior, this dragon, this energy of demise, the martyr within you, get rid of it. Just say you're no longer it. Make the choice that you shouldn't be angry. No way. You live on an Earthship. Remember, you're living in the caca of other people's minds. There's lots of injustices of children, of humans, of First Nation peoples, of our animal life, of our nature. But we have to spotlight inward with big airport floodlights into your body, into your mind, into your divinity, into your truth, beyond what you see now and how you choose to see other people's traumas. We need to accelerate our own healing and our own truth right now. Let's not be so fascinated with the show that we forget this. If you've been living a certain way for a really long time, well, this is shake-up time. If you don't feel that on an earth right now, you might be quite foggy. You might be in the brain fog of unawareness. Highly intuitive people right now are aware, like we're on alert. We're checking it out. We can feel and see energy coming at us. And when that's happening, we look inward so that we have an easier way. So there are a lot of beings that are unaware right now of the complete changes of the regime, of the truths, of the healing technologies that are to come. of all the suppressed ideas and the ideologies based in life and kindness and freedom. This is what's at our doorstep. Beyond the suffering. We shall no longer live in an ideological subversion of our spirit, of our choices, of our truth. We're now in a fantastical opportunity to bring our truth right here to the grid for ourself, for others, in a unified light, if we spotlight inward. To forgive ourselves for the rage inside of us, for allowing a greater energy to take us over. Forgive ourselves for that. Forgive ourselves for allowing ourselves to release the ideas of not being powerful or compassionate in our heart. That we always look at ourselves as a victim. Release it. You can withstand an open and free heart and bring the focus of yourself right here to the heart of the matter, to the heart of the Merkaba, to the heart of the idea of the seed of the source of life itself, living and merging with matter right here on an Earthship. You came here to witness yourself in all your views. Here we are. But please don't spend all your time watching the circus around you. It is quite addicting. And you do need buckets and buckets of popcorn. But if you spend a lot of your time each Earth Day focusing on the divine portion of the love frequency of your being, of the harmony or the peace that's within you, raise your vibration in accordance to the divine will that's inside you. This will bring us to transcending the circus. So activate the spotlight and dim it down so you're not so critical of what you see. You aren't so riled up from what you're viewing of what you're living or what you created. This is a multidimensional showdown with all the versions of yourself. There's so many beautiful consciousness streams of your own energy waiting to be unearthed, waiting to come through the door. Let us peacefully and quietly go through our unfolding of the human idea, the unfolding of all that you are. Even the not-so-done parts, the raw parts of you. Let's let them out, only for a second, to love them, to hug them, to say, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive me. And let's move on, and let's stop wallowing in these repetitive patterns of this reincarnation fiasco thing. Let's choose how we operate the energy around us. Let's choose compassion for ourselves first, so that we can help others with our temple of light that we are. If you help yourself first. Let's make a collective decision to be done with the strife of all the lifetimes of hate and move ourselves into like a resurrection of our being, into forgiveness of ourselves. Let us bless the mess and move on. We came here for life itself, so let's bring the focus to the upliftment part of this. The focus of the vehicle, the fuel, the thoughts, the ideas that get us more conscious, more aware, not less conscious or less aware. Bringing the truths and allowing the truths of others. It's time. Bring the spotlight right here. This is what can change the polarity of your being. You can be less triggered, more kind in your thoughts about others. Isn't that nice? When you find yourself doing that, it's a happy day. When the snarky part of you quiets, the surly part of you starts becoming more loving right here in your view, into the focus of divine peace right here in your life. My God. This is the frequency of getting along, of allowing others to hold any freaking truth they want, even if it's hating on you. Let them be in their pain. Let them have warped views. They're obviously not seeing through their divinity. They're not accessing their divine. They're accessing their fear through all the dimensional lives they've had. They're the one in pain. Do you have to be? Do you have to be be chosen? to be lessened in your energy field by another person just because they're choosing to spout off their truth. You can allow them their truth and not be lessened by their truth. Because you can make a choice to uplift yourself in all situations, to be able to stand in compassion and assist yourself. And if someone else wants to be assisted, they will show up. They'll ask you. That's sovereign action. The divinity within you is going to come out. The alignment is happening right now, and my sincere hope is that you all come into a space of understanding and peace to witness this reworking of energy on the earth and reworking of the cells within you. So just go ahead and unfold your human aspect of your heart, of your Christ consciousness, of your innate wisdom, and your ever-present love of life itself, no matter the drama that's produced in a quantum entanglement here on earth. So go ahead and live your sovereign truth right here, right now. Be humble, be kind, and be worthy of the light of compassion. If you visit my website, you'll find some free offerings of compassion. One is called Solene, the Ancient One. It's a free ebook of some teachings from my higher self. I also have something called the Grace Template, the Template of Grace. It's an 11-day activation of meditation, full of compassion for yourself. I have offerings like consulting, energy healing, workshops I'm working on. I'm actually working on some visits to Roanoke, Virginia, Bend, Oregon, Reno, Nevada, Chewelah, Washington. So if any of you have any friends and you'd like to come together and do a workshop with me, just contact me on my website. And just understand that the access to your heart space is through the lens of your spotlight inward. May your spotlight inward be grounded and wisdom-filled and a view of the divine life that you deserve and all the amazing possible futures that live within you. Many blessings.